Warning, do not buy the Oupes Guardian 6000 or the Pecron E3600LFP without watching this video. And by the way, this is not a hit piece on those two brands. I'm not getting paid by any other brand to do this. I'm just trying to provide pure education for you. Why? In the last week alone, I've had 3 of you book a one-on-one consultation with me. 2 of you had recently purchased the Oupes Guardian 6000, and the other one had recently purchased a kit with 2 Pecron E3600LFPs and the 240 volt hub. And all 3 of those people called asking for help with the same exact problem. I was able to help 2 of the 3 people figure out solutions. The third person actually ended up returning their power station and will be getting something different, all because of this one silly little issue that nobody understands. So let's start with the Oupes Guardian 6000. The issue is that once you've depleted the power station and you're ready to charge it, if you're going to charge it with 120 volt power, so that'd be like plugging it into a standard, 120 volt outlet or 120 volt gas generator, during the course of the recharge cycle, you cannot use the 240 volt outlets. It is completely disabled. The only ones that work on the Oupes Guardian 6000 are these 3 in this little outline right here. These other 5 are actually disabled when it's charging from 120 volt power and you don't get any 240 volt. So that was a problem for my 2 viewers that were asking for my help, because they wanted to use this and rely on this to run their well pump during a grid down situation. Well, they didn't want to sit around waiting with a quote-unquote power outage while this recharged. They had, gas generators, smaller ones, but very fuel efficient ones. And they thought this could be the ultimate, hack to be able to minimize fuel consumption and still run their critical 240 volt well pump. Let's look at the Pecron E3600LFP. So you have to pair 2 of these together to get the 240 volt outlet. And if you plug one of these in to recharge at 120 volts from the AC wall charger, then the 240 volt gets completely disabled. And for some reason, people just don't understand that that's going to happen. Now there's good news for the Pecron E3600LFPs. And a huge thank you to my viewer here. Go check this video out. I'll have it linked down in the description. But you can actually feed from 48 volt batteries directly into the dual inputs on the E3600LFP and get just over 2,000 watts of charging input per unit. So if you double that for both units, you can get over 4,000 watts of charging power off 48 volt lithium iron phosphate batteries. I have a whole video showing how that's done that I'll also leave down in the description. Here's the problem with the Oupes if you're going to try to do the same thing, and this is why one of my viewers returned their Oupes unit. If you try to do the same thing through its solar charging input, it only has 1, and it's good for 18 to 130 volts at 15 amps. Well, a 51.2 volt nominal lithium iron phosphate battery times the 15 amp input limit only gives you 768 watts of power that could go through that input. Contrast that to the almost 2100 for the Pecron E3600LFP. So that's why I say the Pecron is better in this situation, even though it still has the same issue with the 120 volt AC charging. You can at least get around that in a pretty decent way doing the DC input. Not so much with the Oupes. So just be aware of that. Oupes has some really competitive pricing, so we got to give them a pat on the back for that. And if you can 240 volt, charge the unit, or you have a big generator that you can switch over your 240 volt loads to while this recharges, it's a great prospect. But if you're wanting to fully rely on its 240 volt output and still be able to charge it at the same time, bad news. So once again, I want to emphasize that I'm not trying to make you think that Oupes or Pecron are bad brands. They're great. You just need to understand the limitations. If you are only backing up 120 volt loads, then the world of portable power stations is open to you, because this issue is only affecting those people that are wanting 240 volt split phase. But most people that are buying either the 2 Pecron E3600LFPs or the Guardian 6000 are buying them specifically to have the capability of 240 volt power. And if you can't use it like you want to, that can sometimes be a major issue. So let me give you 2 alternatives for consideration if you are in that camp and are looking for a large portable power station that can do 240 volt output while at the same time charging from 120 volts. The first one, and most comparable to those 2 units that we saw with the issues, would be this unit right here from Oscal. This thing's huge. It has a 6,000 watt inverter, so it's just like the Guardian 6000. You can see the 240 volt twist lock plug here on the front, and it 100% outputs 240 volt while charging from 120 volts. Let me insert a clip from my main review showing exactly that. So check this out. I've got a 240 volt source plugged in, my charge inverter right now, dumping a bunch of power into the tower of power here. Check it out, 2,500 watts. This is at 240 volt, okay? Here's the game changer. Ready? I got this power cord coming over here to this power station, and check it out. We are pulling 1,500 watts, almost 1,600 watts actually, from the AC wall outlet. And you can see it's plugged in here. So the amazing thing at this price point that Oscal is giving you is the ability to output 240 volt power at the same time you're charging from a 120 volt source. Isn't that totally epic? Now notice our input here says 0, all right? But yet we are putting in almost 1,600 watts. How is that? Well, that's because the standard AC wall charger here is limited to 15 or 1,600 watts max. So the battery and the inverter inside this Oscal is actually making up the difference for our heavy load. So of course this is unsustainable. Eventually the battery and the Oscal will deplete to a point that it can no longer run the charge inverter at this load. But so many times in a grid down situation, let's say you have a well pump, 240 volt well pump. It turns on and it uses a whole bunch of power just for a minute while it repressurizes your pressure tank, and then it shuts off. So this is the perfect solution for that, because this huge inverter and a large battery can supply that, while let's say your little fuel efficient Honda EU 2200i generator or something like that is just chugging away at a comfortable 1,600 watts recharging things, so that when your well pump shuts off and your consumption drops below the 1,500 watts like this, all of a sudden now you're going to get a whole bunch of extra power dumped back into the battery for continued recharging, and for the next time you need to offset a heavy load. That is a huge, huge feature. And then probably my personal favorite, the Bluetti Apex 300. This is smaller by almost half, not quite. Inverter output, 3,840 watts. However, you can chain multiples of these in parallel to get up to 12,000 watt output. But my favorite thing with this is you get the portable power station package, but then on top of that, you can actually hook it up, just like I've done here, to external 51.2 volt lithium iron phosphate batteries, and they connect through the external battery port. There's very minor work you have to do to accomplish this, and I'll be sure and leave a link to the full video showing how this all works down in the description. But combining the totally epic expansion capabilities, plus the ability to charge this with a standard 120 volt feed while it's still outputting 240, makes this a very compelling option. Please let me know down in the comments if this was helpful to you. Did you realize that those systems have that limitation? I'd be curious to know how many of you already knew about this versus how many of you didn't. I've got links to the full reviews of this Oscal PowerMax 6000 as well as the Bluetti Apex 300, so be sure and check those out. You guys keep saying that you want more of the educational learning type content like this, so I've been really trying hard to do more of it. Please help me know that it is valuable to you by doing the 5 free things: like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. Those 5 free things make a huge difference to the video in the YouTube algorithm. Plus, it gives me a really easy snapshot that I can just glance at, and I can quickly tell what video resounded better with my audience based on those 5 free things. So please consider doing that, and that will help me know if I should continue making this more educational type content or not. You guys are awesome. I sure appreciate you. Stay safe, and we'll catch y'all next time.